So I'm going to see what happens when I take an apple after my kids have not finished it. Putting it in here. This is my little miniature charcoal containers. Put the lid on, which I'm going to be unable to do one-handed. Turn on the forge. Stick this thing in. And that's going to sit there and get nice and toasty. Let's regulate this a little bit. And then that's going to sit in there for quite a while. So we still see a little flame coming out the end right there. It means that it's still burning off some stuff, but it's getting pretty close to being burned out, turned into charcoal. It's been in there cooking for, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Flame stopped. Everything in there is pretty much gotten cooked out. And now I'm just going to turn this thing off. And it's going to sit in there and cool down. So it's now cool enough that I can grab it by hand. And we're going to put it down here on the table. And I'm going to unscrew it. See what we have. And there we go. That more or less looks like the apple I stuck in. And next we need to grind it up. Drop them into this little container. Put the cap on. Crush it. Open it back up. Throw another one in. Crush them. The last one's in. Probably have to break that one. Oh no, it's still a little wet on the inside. That is still gooey. Wonder if any of these ones were. Yeah, looks like some of those are still gooey too. Guess we're gonna have to go back into the bin for a little more heat. See that? It's not cooked on the inside. Back in for some more heat. Some of it was good. So I finished on the second fire. Still a little bit hot, but it'll be all right. And this is what we got. Nice and crunchy and crispy. Alright, I'm gonna throw it all in here. Give it one quick smash. Just to break it up before putting it in the ball mill. Brush it all in there. Probably gonna spill a little. Oh well. All right. Put that on. Go ahead and give it a quick crush. Then put it in the ball mill. guess I'll have to scrape it out. All empty. Got it all up in there. All in there. Just all of them. How about that? And then put the lid on that and throw it on the ball mill. It's on the mill. Well, it's actually a rock tumbler, but you know, it works. Probably gonna leave it there overnight and come back tomorrow. It'll probably all be a nice fine powder. And then I'll throw in the other ingredients and give it a little more mill time. And we'll see how it turns out. So next I've measured out the 3 ingredients needed for making this. Here's that charcoal right there. Look how beautiful that is. More or less granulated. And all this is gonna go right back into the mill. Woohoo! And then we're gonna throw them lead balls back in there and give it some more milling. So what I have is 251 grains of very fine black powder meal. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wet it with a little bit of alcohol, a little bit of water, put it into this little container, clamp down on this with my vise to compress it into a puck, and then grind it into the actual grain size. Now I have it in my vise, and I'm just gonna crank it on down a little bit and squeeze and squeeze and squeeze. It'll drip some moisture out of it with just water and alcohol, and then I'll let that sit for a while, take the pressure off, and then dry it out to grind it up. And now I have this compressed puck, which is all dried out, and then I will proceed to crush it and filter it into the different size grains. Now I have it ground down. Here's the grains. Here's my extra fine kind of leftover powder. After grinding it down to the grains, we're gonna go ahead and test out this powder. Just a quick little test right here. Throw a little down there and see what it does. Now this is apple core that's been turned into charcoal and turned into black powder, which is pretty slow, but it still works. Here's what some of the ground up, a little bit coarser grains. As you can see, it's a little bit coarser. Let's see what that looks like. There we go. And there's apple core black powder. For reference, here's some black powder I made from, I think it was cedar charcoal, but I don't remember what wood it was. I made it a while ago. Much faster.